Good
morning.
Good morning, good morning. Hope you're all well. Happy Memorial Day to our friends south of the border.
That's right, yep.
Yeah, hopefully everyone's getting out and get some good enough weather to get a game at some point today.
I would say so, yep. If you're in the northeast end of the U.S., it must be similar weather to what we have.
Absolutely.
Which is awfully good.
It's awfully good driving in there this morning, 26 degrees.
Oh.
Feels like summer, Matty boy.
Feels like we should be outside.
We probably should be outside, to be fair.
Live from the outdoors.
We would like to be. But the outdoor sessions are coming.
Aye, yep.
We will be heading that way very soon.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yep. Who's in the house this morning?
It looks like the usual suspects.
Usual suspects.
Yep.
Oh, right in there. Jack in bits. Morning, guys. Ball recommendation for a low iron
Oh,
spin
let's
player.
take that right away.
Mizuno.
Aye.
Mizuno.
RB Tour X.
RB Tour X.
Or a Pro V1X if you're not that crazy low spin.
I tell you what, when we were talking with the guys at Arcos, we were getting some ideas of foundation stats, like how often do people come short or do they end up short of the green? 60% of the time. How often do they go over the green? About 5% of the time.
Is that all it is?
Yeah, I must account for most of that.
I was going to say, me too. Me and you probably
Horrendous.
are with the five.
I mean, for two guys who have no excuse to not know how far they hit it, all we do is get numbers all day when we're in here.
I have to admit, since my iron change, that's happening way less.
Way less.
It made a huge difference.
I played 9 holes yesterday, and
Did you?
every time I hit half decent iron shots, right over the back of the
What
green.
ball were you using?
TB5, not the X.
And just your AT100s?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. So, don't know.
Get it together.
Strange.
Well, you're also swinging faster, so maybe you were just swinging faster.
They were on little shots. They were on like little partials. Like, do you know what? It was into the wind. So,
Okay.
I think there's probably I'm just not spinning it enough.
Fair enough.
You know,
TP5 gets through the wind very nicely, so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
might be part of it. Okay.
Yep.
Any reports from your first week back? Anything interesting going on? You've been open for 4 days?
Yeah, Wednesday through Saturday. It was good, to be honest. It was successful, and everyone was really sort of comfortable. I think we were unsure of how it would be, post-corona and
a little bit mysterious as to how it would go.
Lockdown. Yeah, but no, it was great.
Good.
Definitely feel safer in the environment than I even thought I would.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I can see how you've set everything up. It looks quite good.
Yeah, it helps people kind of divert when they walk in, and
It's very clear, right?
yeah.
It
So-
reminds me of what other places have been doing, so it's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it was stress-free.
And I think when we get sort of the whole team comfortable, to be honest, I'm comfortable. And I would open up 3 bays right now, but there's two, Alex and Cam. We got to get back in and make sure they're as comfortable in the environment before we open up the 3 bays.
Yeah, you don't want them coming in kind of having anxiety about coming to
No,
work.
that's it. Especially,
fair, right?
they've kind of both got some respiratory kind of issues. So, but they'll be in Bay 3, and people will enter through 1 and 2, so we can sort of almost section
Give
them off a
an
little
entire
bit.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, so
Fair
it's
enough.
good. We're happy to be back.
All right, enough Corona talk, because God knows we've all heard enough. Let's get into some questions, shall we? Any experience with the pH balanced putter shaft?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it, Adam.
Never heard of it.
Pop in later and tell us what brand makes that. I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Never heard of it, and it's a rare one when we've never heard of it. I saw this a couple times over the weekend. Any plans to add Cobra irons into the demo matrix?
We have a couple of them.
Like the players ones?
We have the Forge Tech.
Forge Tech are nice, that's true.
Forge Tech, yeah.
Fair
we
enough.
have the Speed Zone as well, the distance iron.
Okay. Will they be coming out with newer cavity back forgings?
Forge Tech and Speed Zone are new. They're new offerings for them.
You know the ones that used to Pro CB or something they used to have
Yeah.
last year, like the ones that came in black also.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll replace those.
They might.
They might, eh?
Yeah.
Because Ricky Fowler's irons, there's going to be like not very many sets.
No,
so.
I think they're going to limit
Plus,
that 500 sets.
Who the hell
or
can
something.
play those without sucking?
No.
Okay, let's continue. Josh is asking, so he bought the MP20 SELs, fellow lefty, lovely. What is your opinion on the Wilson Staff model blades? They are both really good blades, Josh. I mean, blades to some degree are blades.
Yeah, very true.
I would say if you like a little retro look, the Wilsons are cool, but
Yep.
they're not going to feel or perform better than Mizuno's. I think they're both going to be really good. So no, you don't need to have buyers.
Not much in it.
No buyer's remorse necessary. Go for it.
We have
Want to get one from Gary?
Gary, looking for a new driver shaft for his Epic Flash head. He's launching it too high. He's at 102, and he plays KBS Tour V 130s in his irons.
Hi.
A new shaft. Well, first thing you want to do is turn the loft down in your driver, if it isn't already down. So make sure that you're starting with less loft. That'll help you the most. And if I was going to give you one off the top of my head that I'm really enjoying working with, last week was the week of the Ventus. Holy moly.
Was it?
I've never seen anything like it.
Ventus, various colors or one?
Red, more reds than anything else.
Is that right?
Unbelievable. There was
Red, for your pleasure.
The red for someone who's a little bit on the steep side is a game changer.
So it helps shallow out the...
Just kind of helps flat. Like, there was it kind of brings the launch up a little bit, but still goes out really flat.
Are you calling that a high launch? Low spin?
No, just maneuvers the conditions.
No, you already said it.
Spot.
Too late. You heard it here
I know.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah, it was great.
Ventus.
So, Ventus black for yourself, Gary.
Lovely. Okay. FK Golf is saying he was just fitted for Strixon Z785s. What do we think of them? They are lovely. Smashing. Excellent.
We like them.
Any rumors on the next Titleist drivers? Not that we know of. Anything concrete? Rumors? Some tickly teasers?
I can't really say too much about it.
So that's a no. We don't know, Michael. We don't know.
Well, we do.
Well, okay, we can't tell you.
We do. We can tell you there's a new weighting system.
Oh, lovely.
That's about what we can tell you. We can tell you we'll tell you it won't be the same composition as the last one.
Oh, now that's cheeky. Okay,
so,
love it.
But other than that, I can promise you it'll be good.
Yeah.
I can promise you it'll be good. The guys at Titleist are very, very excited about it. So in initial testing, Corona and the downtime gave them a chance to do a lot of testing with their guys. So they were sending out prototypes and kind of early models.
They're going to come out this year, though? No delays?
They'll be ready to rock and roll. We should see samples in a month.
Oh!
Yep.
My excitement.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me grab one real quick. Unless do you have one ready to go, or are you okay?
Yeah, Zachary's saying that Zachary Milos needs less spin than the BXS, but more than the TP5.
Oh.
What do you suggest? Probably sitting nicely in this Pro V1X.
Yeah.
That would be ideal for you.
BX wasn't, I played BX this past weekend too.
How was it?
Good. Plenty of spin.
Solid?
Yeah. No complaints. Spun everything plenty. But I do think Pro V1X spins more.
I just don't want to pay $50 a dozen US for my golf balls.
For Bridgestones. Bridgestone, if you're watching.
Bridgestone, step up.
You'd have a player to my left here if you'd like to send him some balls.
Devastating.
We got enough problems in the golf industry. We don't need to be paying $50.
I know.
It does. Okay. A new member. Welcome.
Welcome, Lon.
For you, a lovely sound. Accepted with our compliments.
Welcome to the family.
Okay, you go for one, please.
Daniel is asking any news on the JPX release for this year. The news is there will be one.
Yes.
What else can we say about it without giving out all the details? There will be something you've not seen from Mizuno.
Is that right?
Yeah, I believe. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't go too much further than that.
Fair. I think Christopher Shaw hinted at a couple things when we had him on Instagram
That's
Live.
right.
If you want to go back and watch that video, it's on our YouTube channel.
Is there anyone watching this who doesn't subscribe to the channel? If not, leave the room.
I cut to your camera just at the perfect time because you made perfect eye contact. Listen,
I'm talking to you.
We had a great little week. We're flying in the right direction.
I know.
I love it.
It's been great. But the actual numbers, as much as we are climbing a lot in subscribers, the number of people who are watching and not subscribing has went up by 6%.
Seen that.
Went from 42% to 48%.
Part of that is a few of the large videos that we had that attract new members, or new subscribers, which is good.
So, guys, everyone watching, and however many there are, if we get the opportunity today, over Matty Boy's shoulder, 75,800. That needs to move.
Yeah, has to move. I'd like to see that get to 76 today. Before we leave.
So even if you're not watching this live, you end up watching it later in the day, some way, somehow. We will do an Instagram
post.
Just a post, just saying the power of the ask. 75,000.
This is the power of asking.
Get it to 76,000. Come on, we can do it.
Love it. Okay, from Joe Lane, PXG Proto Driver, stock Tennessee White, or Mitsubishi DF, or Acura RPG. Differences. Do these do okay? So Joe, you got a lot going on here.
It's a big
question. A lot going on here. So let's simplify. One, when you switch driver heads, there's no guarantee of how the shaft's going to work. So I wouldn't dive into that right now. Yeah. But Tennessee White, DF's a little bit softer than Tennessee White, and then our RPG should be the stiffest of the lot.
Just different. I mean, they're not made. They're made by Mitsubishi. They're not made in the same country, in the same factory. They are different. Diamant is the flagship line.
Aye.
Obviously, Tennessee has been sort of the sort of most played shaft on tour. DF hasn't really had the tour acceptance that Tennessee had for whatever reason, whatever that means. You can never really tell, to be honest. I think Mitsubishi DF's a great profile. Acura RPG, something that we love, that's really stable, torque's a little bit higher, so if you do want it stable but feels good, those are all good things. But I mean, I think in any situation, Joe, you're going to try all three. And just to put it in perspective, when you say which one of those is I know you're asking for the differences, but people go, which is the best one? We're not able to, even in a fit, we're not able to pick out the best one. That's why we try them.
That's fair.
That's why a driver fits an hour and a half and not 10 minutes.
Trial and error is an absolutely necessary part of it.
We have to see it, So I think the Proto is a really, really decent driver. We
it
saw
really
that.
is. For $495 too.
Yeah,
not bad.
These shafts do well in the Maverick and the Maverick Sub-Zero too.
No way to know that, right?
Yeah. Again, hard to know, Joe. It's we're get 3 shafts and 3 heads going on there, and they're all good. We sell, apart from obviously the PXG, we sell a lot of Mavericks. We sell a lot of Maverick Sub-Zeros, and we no longer offer the Tennessee White. I think that was cut from the wall. It's become an OEM shaft.
Yeah, you did mention that.
It has become an OEM product. So
yep, fair enough.
We decided to go with kind of other shafts on the wall.
Okay. I want to get the one from Brenton.
Brenton, keep up the great work, gents. Thank you, Brenton. 6 irons at 91 to 93. Launch at 16. Average spin at 6,000. Out to in. Current LZ 55s. 2 light. Yep, 2 light and 2 soft. Shaft recommendations. I would say I'd like to see you in a Project X 6.5. Up 10 grams, mostly a difference in the tip flex.
Love it. Zachary's asking about 2019 Pro V1X compared to the 2020 in terms of spin. I want to say it spins more.
I think it spins more. I think it spins a little bit more, but yeah, we've seen the Pro V1X become quite a high spin ball relative to the other premiums in the space, haven't we?
Agree. It has separated itself.
It has. Daniel's asking, any thoughts on Club Champion in Cleveland, Ohio? You know what, if I can tip my hat to Club Champion for one thing, a Club Champion is a Club Champion. Wherever you go, it's a very, very cookie cut model. They can duplicate and replicate. They all look very similar.
Yep.
I think from an experience standpoint, that's a good thing. I don't know the fitters.
Yeah,
I can't comment on their skill set.
Still a bit of variance. If you get a really great fitter somewhere, that would be awesome.
Yeah. I think Club Champion. That's one of their biggest challenges. I'm not telling them anything they don't know. But when you have 80 plus stores, trying to attract. I mean, every store has 2 to 3 fitters So you're in the region of probably having a couple of hundred guys on staff.
That's a lot.
I mean, I have a hard time finding 15 good fitters, never mind a couple of hundred, so
Yeah.
it's not easy.
Good point. New member, David, welcome.
Welcome, David Douglas.
Welcome, David. A couple people asking how the Bandit is doing.
The Bandit's in the house.
How are you
He's
doing?
doing great.
Tell us.
He's doing great.
I see you there, so I hope you're doing fine.
He's feeling better. He's on
yeah?
the mend.
Good.
I was chatting with him the other day, so it's good.
Wonderful. Okay, from Michael. Can we test the Cobra Speed Zone tour length versus the Speed Zone? Yeah, we should do another video on like 44-inch driver versus 45. We did that like 2.5 years ago.
That's right.
It's one that I think, given all the tools we have at our disposal, and we're a little better at making videos now, I would like to redo that one.
Yeah.
It was like a 40-minute video.
No. There actually are probably quite a few videos, thinking of the next little while and what we could do. There are a bunch we really need to revisit and redo.
Sorry, before you do that,
Yep.
I'm way behind on this one. Let me grab this one from Rich.
No worries.
Rich is thinking of switching from high toe 5660 to MG2 5458. He already has an MGT 50. So we say have Modus 105 stiff. Thoughts on the switch? Well, 2 degrees stronger, they're going to go a little bit further, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So that if you need the distance with your gapping, I would say that's your reason to do it. 2 degrees will give you a few more yards.
Yep.
And then what would be a good wedge shaft for Rich, given the 105 stiff in his irons?
I would do a Nippon Modus 120. I would do a stiff in that, and if you have the option to soft step a little bit, you could go 9-iron shafts in those.
Love it.
Just soften them up a touch. Be nice, Rich.
Love it.
On this topic of soft stepping, George is asking, what are the benefits of soft stepping? So we're going to do a video on that.
Don't ask me.
We're going to do, I don't want to just do, here's a 6-iron, here's a soft stepped one, here's a hard step 6-iron, because I don't think that tells the whole story.
Fair.
I think we have to dive deeper into a topic that is a head scratcher in forums all over the world of golf. So we need to build, Matt, basically 2 sets. I don't think we need to build them a standard set and a soft step set and a hard step set. I think if we just do soft and hard stepped, then we know how you hit your own. So I think if we build you 2 sets, get into that, I think it becomes more of a feel thing than generally accepted that it's about 1/3 of a flex in difference.
It's that much? Oh no, sorry, 1/3. That's not much.
It's not much. It's a little.
For some reason, I thought you said 2/3. But
no. So it's not too much.
Lovely. Read this one from Mr. Hardy. They shouldn't do a Maverick Triple Diamond. They should do a Maverick Dirty Dog edition.
Correct.
I agree. They should do that.
Both.
A buff edition.
Both. Right, Davina McCall.
Callaway, are you listening? Would you like to sell 3 drivers or more?
I think that would be an interesting experiment.
All right, you got one ready?
Randy's asking, hey everyone, did Canada Open golf courses yet?
Yes,
it did.
they did.
We've been open for what, a week?
Aye, week and a bit.
9 days. Any news on the new TaylorMade Players Iron release? The only news is that TaylorMade are really excited about it. What can we say? There's quite a bit of DNA from one of the most popular Players Irons that TaylorMade have made in recent years. Quite a lot of DNA from that. Maybe a kind of little bit of a revisit of some of that stuff on one of those irons.
Summer 2020 or in fall?
Summer, I believe. Summer. Probably. I mean, yeah. I think we'll see some stuff.
Tease it and then release
August,
it.
September.
August, September.
August, September. We will hopefully have it in hand a little bit sooner than that.
For us to test.
Yep.
Lovely.
Just got new Cleveland wedges in hand this week.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's the replacement for RTX?
Replaced for RTX 4. So
wow.
Part of we just last week added to the media group for Cleveland Construction USA, which is good. So it gives us access to everything really early.
Love it.
So we can start testing that stuff. So
exciting.
Look out for a little competition coming. There'll be a little Cleveland Strixon competition coming for that.
Lovely.
So exciting stuff.
T-Page 98, no, you do not have to pay money to get a question answered. We answer as many as we can.
We do.
We answer some that paid, some that don't. So,
But
no.
the one thing we will say is we never miss a paid question.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave someone's money wasted.
Yes,
So if you really want to know, yes, we will 100% answer the paid ones, but we do answer some of both. And on that note, let me answer this paid question. Fitting for a beginner, waste of time, no, or recommended? Is there any point if you can't even hit the ball consistently? Well, most people would argue that they can't hit the ball consistently, so that isn't really the most benchmark. I'll let Ian chime in on this.
You still need to address the fundamentals of fitting. You maybe don't need to get into the nuances like we get into with regards to maybe giving someone a higher torque shaft in a really stable, bend profile in order to manipulate fields and stuff like that. We're maybe not there yet, but sure, you need the right length, the right grip size, the right shaft weight, the right flex, the right lie angle, the right loft, the right set composition. All that stuff is still custom fitting.
Aye.
It just might not be diving into as much as what's on the wall behind us, but all of those things will help you play better, no question.
Love it.
Chris is asking, will you do a review of the Honma TR20 driver? It's here. We have it.
He's asking, you shall receive these days, eh? Wow.
We have it.
Must have come in with the morning shipment.
The disappointing thing for my boy here
is it's right-handed. I already knew that, though. It's okay.
They're not launching lefties until October or something like that.
It takes till October. Oh, egregious. Oh, those look nice, though. Are there
Really
two
nice.
heads?
460, 440.
That's right, that's right.
And we have the Honma Vizard shafts as well. So I think a bit of a compelling story that, everyone knows that Ping invests in their shafts. Honma invests the most in their shafts out of any company out there. I mean, their shafts are really high quality.
Why do you think that they make their own shafts?
I think there's a market for it in Asia. I think it's more of an Asian story than it is North America.
People want the matching kind of article?
Yeah, I think that's a bigger deal. Nice though, eh?
It looks good.
Apparently, I mean, obviously take everyone's claims with a pinch, but I've heard stories of these things being quicker than anything out there. Quicker. So it'll be interesting to do, tests head to head against the clubs that we feel are the quickest of 2020 and see how they stack up for ball speed.
That's got to be all like anecdotal. Like realistically, what could possibly be quicker than something else? Right?
And that was my exact question to the president of Honma when he was here just before the lockdown. I said, how do you guys get around the limitations that everyone's governed by? And he gave me a pretty good answer.
Okay.
I just don't know whether it's a marketing answer. Because it's not something I can test. Separate an MOI from CT is not something that we can test other than just going, okay, well, if that's what you tell us is happening,
we'll just hit it.
We're going to hit it, and we're going to tell you whether we find the same.
Love it. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
You'll see that later this week then. 440 and a 460. Okay, if you can grab this one here. 3-wood advice. Epic Flash. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of acronyms in there. Good Lord. Okay.
We struggle with acronyms,
Epic
don't we?
Flash Sub-Zero driver. Hulk 65. Okay, fine. That's the driver. You hooked the crap out of the 3-wood. You currently have a 17-degree H2 hybrid. There's a lot going on here, dude. There's a lot going on here.
All right, so
he needs to stop hooking his 3-wood, and he swings clearly quite fast. So let's go with that. Someone who hooks their 3-wood and swings quick. What does the chef recommend?
It's a tricky one. Tell you what I would recommend. And I actually had this a couple of times last week. I had people hooking fairway woods. I don't think that 2020 is a particularly great year if you hook the fairway wood.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because there aren't many companies who offer you the ability to throw weight in the toe. Titleist do with TS3. TaylorMade do not.
Do you think that the toe weighting issue is more important than like the flattening ability and the open face ability?
I think it's more important.
Really?
So what I would say is, this is something that I saw because one of the customers who were in last week, he came in with a 2017 M1 The two things you need basically, you need loft if you're hooking it.
Yep.
Because we need to try and widen the spin loft window. So I would say if you can, this is worth an experiment because you'll be able to pick one up for pretty cheap. A 2017 M1 fairway wood.
Yep.
Weight in the toe, set open.
Love it.
Is where you can go. And you can obviously get a 4-degree sleeve that sets the head 4 degrees open. So you're starting with lots of loft, you have room for closure, and you have the weight out in the toe. If you're still hooking with that one, go and get a lesson.
Yeah, fair enough.
True?
Bye.
True.
Okay, I'm going to answer a couple quick ones here.
Okay, pal.
Robert's asking about his iron shafts. Should I match them up to my wedge shafts the same or not? Not, Robert, not. So generally you go a bit heavier and a bit softer.
Yeah.
So if you play if you played X100, for example, you'd play S400 in the wedges. There was a quick one here about the turf in here is from a company called Synthetic Turf International. If you would like to replicate the high quality item.
STI.
STI is the acronym. Yep. Chase says he's a new member. Welcome, Chase.
Welcome, Chase.
Glad you're enjoying your first time in the old live chat.
Welcome to the nonsense.
The nonsense. Okay, on to you, pal.
Kichi 83, small batch Hulk versus Smoke Green in the sim offering. If it's a question of what you should go for, what are you motivated by, your wallet or what you hit best? If you're motivated by the wallet, go Smoke Green, and if you're motivated to get the best quality part, go with the small batch.
Hey, love it.
It's an interesting one here, Matthew
for it.
Davis. Is it common to have or to refit someone after major weight loss?
Oh,
interesting.
very interesting. Or I guess weight gain is really the same question.
Weight gain. Yeah, it's any changes in that sort of thing. So I think it would be a good idea to relook at it, see what's changed. Obviously things do change. Your mass distribution has changed. So you're within yourself, your balance is going to feel a little bit different. So I think fundamentally, some people, depending on, if you're carrying a few extra pounds, yeah, sure, it can cause you to maybe move the club in a certain way. Maybe if if we go down the route of losing a few pounds, your range of motion can increase. Maybe you have access to a slightly different kind of movement pattern. So it just depends, but it wouldn't hurt to take a look.
I was gonna say go to a place that has quad or TrackMan. Yeah. Get your numbers assessed. If they're the same as they used to be, then no. If they're different, then yes.
Cedric is asking Cleveland CBX 254 and full face in 60. Great wedges, by the way.
Oh, lovely, Cedric.
Have KBS Tour V X Flex 120 in the irons.
Shaft recommendation.
Go, if you want to stay in the KBS family, go with KBS High Rev. You can do 135s, and those you can do KBS Tour 130s. It'd be great as well.
Good. Rich is asking about the TXG Arcos community group. We don't have anything to release on that. Not yet.
I think the guys are still working a little bit on the press release for what our relationship with.
We're going to have the initial
Arcos
press release June 1st.
Is that when it is, June 1st?
Yeah, I don't think this part of it will be in the beginning.
No, and there's a little bit of building to go on with this.
Yeah.
Basically, guys, what I'm trying to work on is something actually I've not even spoke to you about yet. I'm trying to. I think most of our Arcos sales will come from the US.
Online, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to try and see if we can get a direct to consumer option where we don't have to receive the products to then
drop ship
import them and then have to reship them out. Just timing and cost for everyone just goes up. So I'm trying to come up with a solution in which we can drop ship them out to our customers in the US, and then come up with sort of the foundation of this TXG Connect program.
Yeah, so you would sign up for that as part. That's why you'd buy from us.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can have access to be part of Cam's team, John's team, Alex's team,
like
Mike's
that.
team. And you're on a kind of a squad.
I love it. Okay, well, stay tuned for more news on that.
Yeah.
It is coming. Madman for you, we did grab this just a few minutes ago. It's Synthetic Turf International. Give them a call. And if you're building a Foresight booth, for example, they can tell you all the details.
Scott Smokeham, if you can get access to anyone at the company, Scott Smokeham is the man.
He's the lad.
He's the all-knowing fella. He's based in Vancouver. He's really, really smart guy, great, personable, really knowledgeable about synthetic turf. Someone I've bounced a lot of ideas off of before putting the turf that we have in.
Chris is asking if we're going to be fitting TR20 for Ian versus the sim. Yeah, we'll hit a few sims because that's the benchmark for Ian.
Yeah, seems to be the benchmark.
It will be in there. Okay. From Matt. Matt plays Apex Pros Project X 6.5. What would you suggest for wedge shafts? Lots of wedge shaft questions today. It's good. So 6.5 in the irons. What do you like in the wedges?
So in your 50, you're going to pop in a Project X 6.5 wedge shaft. 54 and 60, you go with something like, if you like something a little softer feeling around the greens, you could go with like an S400. You could go with a KBS Tour 130. You could go with an LZ 6.5, just to soften it a little bit. But if you're a fairly high spin player, you could just soft step your 6.5s.
Fire them straight in there.
Yeah.
Okay. George is asking what we thought of the match yesterday.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was great. I thought it was
it's fun to watch.
Way more fun than the one at Seminole.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think a bit of a bummer that the weather was such crap. If it wasn't so rainy, I think they would have been chatting more. But like we've all played golf in pissing rain.
Yeah.
Like you just want to get in your damn cart and move on. So that being said, it's funny. Like Charles Barkley was hilarious.
Barkley's hilarious.
Justin Thomas did a great job.
Really
good. Good for him. I mean, honestly, I don't know how old is Justin Thomas. 24.
He seems like he's literally like the veteran who's.
I don't know. I was very impressed with him though. I thought he did a really good. That is not easy to do. No. So he did a good job. It was fun, George. I think I would love to watch a couple of those a year.
Tiger needs to step up with better chat.
But Tiger's, I was just one of my best friends chatting with us. He's like, why is Tiger so quiet? I'm like, Tiger's an introverted person.
Very
when he's on camera, he's introverted, and I get that. Yeah. When he's off camera, you know he's yapping.
And that's the thing, because he is a trash talker. And then, like I was so disappointed with that first match between him and Phil. I thought he'd be giving it to Phil left and right. The only time he has any comeback on someone is, how many green jackets have you got?
I know.
How many US Opens have you? Like all that stuff.
But like, do you think part of it is like you're mic'd up and it's PG rated? Like when these guys yap, there is a lot of swearing and like rude stuff. Like how it is on the golf course. I think they're trying to go like, I can't say anything rude. I better keep it tame. And then your brain's going, you can't speak off the cuff. Not that I'm saying they should make it R-rated and just full of nonsense, but what are you missing there?
No, I've all gone. I'm looking for my phone.
I will move on.
Yeah, I thought it was
great.
Yeah,
it was great. Loved it.
I thought Brady and Peyton were really good.
Peyton played great.
Really did.
Hit some great. The guy was hitting just how many iron shots did he stuff?
He was awful off the tee. Somebody needs to fit the guy for a driver. He was using a Callaway. He needs loft, and he needs the face a little bit more open.
He'd be laughing.
He could do with something probably actually a little bit shorter and heavier. Something that just pointed the face high right for him.
And he'd be laughing.
He'd be absolutely on fire.
Because his irons were good.
So good. He just hits lovely little draws.
Yeah,
he's got a good feel for the rest. His chat on the range before the round on the Belichick. That was really funny. And then when Brady holed that wedge shot.
That was a joke.
How good was that?
I was yelling, and Lindsay's like, what are you yelling about? I'm like, Charles Barkley is literally just ripping Tom Brady. He's ripping him. And then he jugs a 10-yard iron shot, or wedge shot.
I know.
With his microphone flying off and splits his pants
trying to get the
ball. Splits his pants, poor guy.
I thought that was so good.
Why are you wearing rain pants, Tom? I split my pants.
I know. Do you know what the thing is? These guys are they're superheroes in everyone's eyes. Superheroes, but they're not. They're just normal people.
Just a lad. Well, I mean, golf will bring anyone down to size. The funniest thing was at the end when they're like, imagine Tiger and Phil trying to go play like a little bit of NFL football. Mm-hmm. They couldn't.
No.
They physically couldn't. That's why golf is so cool, because those guys are obviously the best football players in the world, but they can play a little golf.
So
Onwards.
good.
Okay.
Rich, any info on whether Ping will be releasing any new drivers in 2020? They will not. Ping will not be releasing anything new in 2020.
They're going to wait till next year.
Everything's going to be next year.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
From Michael. Is a 2016 Apex Pro 5 and 6 iron suitable to combo up with a 2018 X Forged 7 to 9 iron?
Go see a fitter and make sure your lofts are gapped appropriately, but there's no reason why not, Michael.
Okay, so
Yep.
that is definitely doable.
No reason why not, my man.
Okay, you got one?
Yep. AJ, morning lads. Looking for a few fairway shafts to test for his TS3. He has a Ventus Black 7X in the
It's got
driver,
the same stuff as me.
X100 10C Pro in the hybrid cut short. Is this you?
Is that me? AJ Butts.
Driver swing speed is 113. A few fairway wood shafts.
Fuji Pro 2.0.
I know. Oh, your
respect.
shaft's in. I saw it this morning.
That was fast.
Yep. It's here. Your name etched on it. Lovely.
Fuji Kura, you guys are beauties.
Yep.
What that's
the Maldo.
outrageously nice.
Yep.
Maldo?
Maldo.
Thanks, Maldo. I'll send you a message later, but
Yep,
that's world-class stuff.
So fairway shafts, I would say. What are you playing? You're playing some Fuji stuff. You're playing some Mitsu stuff. I don't know if you have access, AJ, to club fitting equipment, but Accra, TZ5, 85 would be good. DI, little DI.
I liked both of those.
DI8
I thought they were quite
would be
nice.
really nice. What else is out there? It's really, really high quality stuff like that. I mean, you could always try some of the hazardous stuff. And obviously, it doesn't go into the 80s unless you get the tour issue stuff, but give it a little run. It's certainly for the harder, heavier hitters out there. And you could also go Ventus Blue 8X. I think if you like the Ventus Black, the blue's a really nice complement to the Ventus Black in a fairway wood.
You think so, eh?
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
I think that Ventus stuff's so good.
They did a great job with that stuff.
Yeah.
It's lovely stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
I've got one ready for
Go for
you,
it.
lad. Victor has been playing Z765 Modus 120 stiff. He plays S200 in his wedges. Swings at 86 mile an hour with the 6 iron. He was fit into PXG 0211s. That's the more affordable ones, right? With MMT 80s, which are graphite. Any concerns? So he's dropped 40 grams on his iron weight. With 86 miles an hour swing speed.
A few concerns.
Seems a little.
Been playing Z765 to 120s, S200 on the wedges, 6 iron at 86 miles an hour. Fit into MMT. Victor, I think there's questions need to be asked of why you're fit into an 80 grams.
Was the cash register ringing?
An MMT 80 gram sounds like a stinker.
That is what they call a zero.
I don't know what to say.
Too light, eh? Too light.
Too light, too expensive, too unnecessary.
Good.
You maybe hit them good though. That's the thing. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah,
like maybe in the fit you striped them. There is, but everything about that leaves a stinking big question mark for me.
Fair.
So.
Okay, so look for, if you want to go graphite, probably something heavier,
Yes.
in the 100 plus gram range.
Keith Ingle is asking, any news on when the Arcos Link will be out? July, we believe.
Okay.
Good. Yep.
Kevin is asking, he's looking for a new shaft for his Cobra Speed Zone driver. He swings at $122, quick. He has an aggressive transition. He's playing Modus 130X in his irons. He kind of wants more height on his Speed Zone driver. What do we like for Kevin? Quick swinging, aggressive transitioning Kevin.
Ventus Blue 7X.
Oh, lovely.
There you go,
Kevin.
straight in there.
That's lovely.
Looking for more height. Also fiddle with the weights, Kevin.
Aye.
Play with
Weight
the weights.
back?
Move that weight back a little bit.
Love it.
Here's one for you.
Aye.
My Golf Spy suggested in a recent podcast that matte golf balls should not be used because they underperform wet conditions. Is this true?
Oh!
Remember when we
Ian
were...
said that. Ian said that.
So I was saying we were going to test velocity.
With orange. I wanted to use
know.
the orange because I just liked how it looked on
and I'm
camera.
just like, you just can't convince me.
There's nothing you can say to me.
That makes me think a matte golf ball is going to perform like a standard golf ball. Like, if you take a standard golf ball and rub 2 golf balls together, there's significant friction.
Yeah.
Take 2 mat and it's like Teflon.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know,
Which is funny because like it looks like it's a rougher surface, but no, that's exactly what Ian said. So I'm not surprised to see that.
Is funny.
Not surprised. A bit disappointed.
The one thing I will say though is, I think the guys at Titleist have some serious horsepower, and when it comes to knowledge in Massachusetts there at the ball plant. So, you know, I would just say they obviously have tested most of the. You would hope they've tested most of these variables. I'm sure they have, and you know, I don't know how much of a disparity we're talking about. And just to me,
for them, it will be less than others. That's my opinion.
Yeah. For sure, that's a good way.
Because they don't release crap.
For sure.
You have to get this one. Zachary's ball speed 175, backspin 3,500, apex over 250 feet. There's no way, but I'm sure it's high.
Not 250.
There's no chance.
Not 250, Zach.
I don't even know what it would take to hit a ball 250 feet.
Well, we have tried. We were messing about one day, teeing the ball up as high as we could and trying to like literally see how high we could get them. I think one of the boys got it to like 185 feet or something like that. And
yeah. I play with a guy that can probably hit it 180 feet, and his ball looks ridiculous how high it is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think 250s maybe. That might be a reading from like one of those personal launch monitors or something. We've seen some dodgy.
That's fair. It might be
dodgy reads on that.
Well, Zachary, you need less loft, pal.
You need less loft, my man. You need to get down into. I mean, something like sim 8 degree is really good, obviously for flattening flight. Get into a little Maverick Sub-Zero with a tour sleeve. So what the tour sleeve does actually, it sets the loft 1 less. So you actually start with 8 and gives you the option to move down to 6.
Crazy. Is that the lowest lofted? You can't get anything down to 6 other than sim, right?
Sim and Maverick, the only ones you can get down.
Maverick comes in at 8?
Well, if you put the tour sleeve on it, it comes at 9.
Sleeve. My bad, yeah.
Then it sets at 8, which you can move.
You got this small batch Hulk versus Smoke Green,
yeah.
Right? Okay,
yeah.
good. I think so. All right, why don't you go for one there, pal?
Okay, let's see. Charlie P. Amigos, love to see more low compression tour ball testing. Can't afford the latest and greatest clubs, but definitely can buy a dozen balls if they can help my game. Yep, we have lots of testing going on. We definitely have lots to come. What I'd like to do is, if we can, Matty, we're at 10:43, we're going to end at 11, so we've got a good bit of time. I'd like to do the last 5 minutes, so 10:55, throw out some questions to everyone. Just a bunch of questions on things that you guys would like to see, some ideas that we were having, and just a little kind of almost like research of the group.
Feedback session.
Yeah, get a little feedback session. We've got a bunch of ideas, and we just basically want to know what do you guys want to see, because
I love it.
That's what's going to help us determine what we do.
I love it. Okay, Josh, this is a question for Ian. I'm sure he can answer you. So that's going to pop up on your screen in 1 second. Okay. He's asking about your Mitchell Loft and Line machine. There you go.
Josh, it has a Mitchell Loft and Line machine. On the bottom clamps for irons, is it correct to leave a little play in them so the iron can center when tightened? Yes, yeah. You want it on those bottom 2 clamps that basically allow you to line up the scoring lines on the iron. You have to, obviously, different irons are sort of set at different angles, so you do want to have a little bit of play so you can match up those scoring lines for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe is asking about some heads from follow-up from earlier. PXG Proto versus Maverick and Maverick Sub-Zero for forgiveness and stability. I think ball speed's going to be very similar with all 3 of them. They're all quite quick.
Yep.
Forgiveness, stability, I'm going to say Maverick Standard will be more stable, or Sub-Zero. Is that fair to say? The Proto was okay.
I tell you what, though, the Proto is going to have an advantage in that, for me, the most stable driver is generally the one that has the mass where you need it.
So if you need the toe or heel, that's fair.
And exactly. So if you're center striping it, I think probably Maverick is going to be the most stable, to Matty's point. I think you're right. But if you're someone like me or yourself that that toe strike is prominent, I think the PXG would do a hell of a job. I mean,
That's a great point.
It's hard for me to convey how different those two drivers felt last week, but it really felt different. One felt like I was completely mishitting it, and one felt like I was diming it, and it actually really wasn't any different.
The strikes were identical.
They were pretty much in the same spot.
Which is better on low strikes, Joe? They're all pretty damn good on low strikes.
Callaway drives are exceptional on low
good.
strikes. Whether that's a function of jailbreak, it's ever since the very first Epic Flash. No, not even the Epic Flash. It was the very first Epic driver.
Original.
I used to see strikes in low in the head that were faster than strikes in the middle of the head with that driver.
I know.
So
fair.
Very good.
Can you grab this one from Zach here?
Yep.
Zach is a longtime Pro V1X player. He switched to TP5X for lower spin. He started hitting it offline more. Not surprised. Recommendation for a firm feeling ball with mid spin. What do you like?
Pro V1X.
Go back to your Pro V1X?
Pro V1X. That's what it is, isn't it? Firm feeling golf ball with mid spin.
Well, is it higher? Maybe Bridgestone BX is more mid. I'm just thinking like mid spin.
Definitely Tour BX would be a good one.
Mid spin.
I think we still probably have seen that the Strixon Z-Star XV
true.
is still a really good option in that spin range.
Great ball.
Yep.
And good,
really good ball.
Good price point too.
And tell you what, I mean, durability, which means a lot to people. It's got to be the most durable ball out there.
It's crazy durable.
Yep. Love it.
It is pretty much the only ball that doesn't crack in here, which is saying something.
I know.
From Sam Power. That's quite a name. Sam's returning to the game after 15 years, but he needs new clubs.
Legends.
So he's basically saying, should you go for the clubs that you probably would have played when you were playing and playing well, or do you go game improvement for your foray back into the game from the start? It's a good question. Interesting question.
Sam, let someone who does it for a living make that decision for you. I would go for a fit somewhere. Mm-hmm. Go and get, do a little bit wherever you live, Sam. Do a little bit of kind of research and at your club wherever you play. Ask around, see if you can get a feel for who does really good quality fittings in your area, and go and sort of ask them what you need. If you get an opportunity to hit your own clubs, that would be nice, and they can tell you what you need and tell you if you need to invest in it.
Hi. Grab one there.
Victor's following up. It's MMT 80 actually stock offering.
Okay.
It's only $95. PXG fitter can sell me more expensive stuff.
So it wasn't a money grab, fair enough.
It's not so much that, I'm sure he highly recommend. I've never fit somebody at 86 miles an hour into an 80 gram shaft, Victor.
Yeah.
I've never done it, and I've never seen it done well. I think there's just a big question mark over whether somebody who swings that fast, unless maybe, from a physical limitation standpoint, maybe if there's some physical limitations and you struggle with, the heft, struggle with the mass. If that's the case, then, and obviously in all these scenarios, Victor, we're trying to give you information based on very limited knowledge and information. But I can just tell you that that's a really odd one. Fair. What would I see at 86? Maybe like a Modus 105, maybe something like a DG 105, maybe even a conversation about like AMT white or red. Where you sort of have lighter shafts and the long irons progressing into some heavier stuff.
Gotcha. Nasty.
You got a little cut?
Yeah, my finger. Driving me nuts. Here, take this one for me. Aiden is heel striking his TS2 forward. Everything else is fine, I'm assuming, meaning his other clubs are fine. Lie or length adjustment, and his path is slightly on the up with the forward. What could help him with that heel striking issue?
His path is positive.
Usually that doesn't lead to a heel strike, does it? More of a toe strike.
If your angle of attack is positive, that can. If the mass is moving sort of too much up and right, that can lead the sweet spot to be traveling too much.
Is that right?
To the right. So feeling like the club moves more sort of down and left. Can definitely help. So I would try to get the ball position back a little bit, and try and feel like you're going to kind of, it's almost like a feel of coming over the top ever so slightly.
Love it. I love it. If you've got one ready,
Yeah.
go for it.
Morning, lads. Mr. 123. Thoughts on the Aldila Rogue White 130 MSI compared, or I must be matched in with a Maverick Sub-Zero if you're struggling with too much spin. Driver swing speed is about 110. Good shaft, obviously an interesting one that one's been moved into the OEM line when the white, the silver and black versions are part of the aftermarket. I'm not sure what the story is there. Obviously, it's a little bit stiffer than the Aldila Rogue Black, a little bit softer than the Rogue Silver. So, again, it would be fine if you're playing the 60X at that 110 miles an hour. It would be pretty good for you, but really hard to say beyond that.
Fair enough. Okay, I already took that one. From David. David's asking about Project X Black. I'm assuming that's a black finish. Will they play the same as the standard Project X? Is that what he's asking? Project X Black irons?
Yes, play the exact same,
So
David.
it's just a finish difference,
Yeah.
David. For your aesthetic enjoyment is what that's for.
I love it. Sean Davis, the enforcer, is in here. It's amazing how many people don't understand what no more questions means.
Because it's not like we just don't. If you ask it at this point, it's not getting
We're
answered.
just not going
Just trying to save you the trouble. So save it for next week. You got one there?
Things I like is asking.
Things I like.
Things I like. I have a Mizuno CLK 16 turned up to 18 degrees. It has a 10C white in it. Is it a good candidate to cut it shorter, or would it be too light? It would be a little bit on the light side. You would need to add some head weight. I would sort of maybe investigate why you're needing to cut it shorter. If it's maybe it becomes something you play like a 105 gram shaft in, and a little Nippon Ghost experiment.
Ghosty.
Ghosty.
Okay, good luck with this one. I'm putting it up on the screen for you right now. From Chris. Chris needs driver shaft help. Looks like he's leaving the face open.
Hello, Chris Johnson. Can you recommend a driver shafts, multiple, plural, to help with timing, squaring, heavier and softer? He's 105 on TrackMan, short backswing, using a Rogue Elite Blue 65X in a present. All right, Chris Johnson. Let's get you into something like I'll give you 3 here. You do, need something on the heavier side if you have a quick transition. That's a definite. So let's go. Graphite Design IZ7S.
Oh.
Let's go. VA Ryzen 6404. Actually comes in at 69 grams raw. So that's pretty much a 70 gram shaft, but it's designated at 64. Really good one.
Sneaky.
Acra FX 2.0 370 M4.
Love it.
Just whoever's building them for you, just make sure they pay attention not to go OTT on the tipping, because you're playing them short. So we don't want them getting light and short. That's a bit of a nasty combo.
Okay, I'm going to welcome Michael. He's a new member. Welcome, Michael. And we're going to begin the feedback portion of the show.
Yeah, I like this.
Courtesy of Ian Fraser.
So I want to know for the next 30
5
seconds,
minutes.
this is question number 1. How many of you get fit using range balls?
How many of you are willing to do it? Would you do it?
Yeah, or have been fit.
Or have you done it?
have been fit, off using a range ball. Really not knowing that there's a big variable between a range ball and a premium ball.
Okay, good.
That would be my first one.
Love it. Let those trickle in for a second.
Yeah, trickle those
You got
in.
to take this one really quick.
Okay.
Struggle with the hook with the Tour D M9003 M5 driver, 46-inch playing length. He went down to 44-inch, and he now fades the ball. So he was hooking it before, cut it 2 inches short, and now he's playing a cut. Is that normal?
I would say no.
Strike pattern must be vastly different.
Lots of things must be different.
Heel strike action?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Robinson, hopefully that helps.
So lots of people being fit, and Bandit saying, 1, no, never, I would walk out. I mean, the challenging thing is...
Bandit's been here, though, so he knows
Bandit's
better.
been here. The one thing is, if you go out in the demo day and that's your option in your local area, you don't have much of a choice.
There are.
That's part of the problem.
It's either an indoor studio that uses proper balls, or it's a very high-end outdoor studio. Very high-end.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been lucky enough to go to some really nice private clubs, and I haven't seen that many Pro V1s on the range these days because I think they tend to go missing. It does look like a lot of people say they have been fit with range balls, due to it being the option. Some people are, I guess, a little wise to know that it's not great.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we're going to dive into it today, we're going to...
that's going to be on the list.
We're going to take a look at it, and according to Joe Manganiello, it's a bad question, but we don't think so, because we think it's a very important question, because how many people are leaving a fit session with their numbers dialed in off of a golf ball that's nothing like the golf ball that they play in real life?
Your launch
That's a big
will
problem.
change instantly.
Well, think of the time you've just wasted. You're going to spend time in the session dialing in your numbers, and if one thing we've shown over the last year is the value of the ball and how much it can change, especially in an irons fit. I mean, can you imagine going to get an irons fit and the golf ball you use is something that is complete polar opposite? Then you go and hit your own golf ball and you go, well, this isn't what I had it like in the fit. Well, no wonder.
Yeah, no kidding.
No wonder. It's nothing like the same. So we're going to dive into that today.
Love it. What's your next one? Because we're running out of time.
Next one would be, let's go for, what putters would you like us to explore the range of? We're going to do Scotty Cameron, that's a given.
Yep.
What other putters would you like us to look into?
Good.
We have some Bettinardi here, we have some Evenroe here. What would you like us to look into from a putter standpoint?
Putter manufacturers.
Yeah, I'd like to do a bit more of that stuff.
Good. Do you want to squeeze one more in before we go?
Let's see.
I see Peretti just came in.
Peretti, yeah. Our Artisan JP is a tough one, obviously, because they make one-offs. One thing we'll do is we're going to go to Artisan when we're allowed to.
Can we test our own one-off?
Yeah, well, we have one of them. Mikey has one. Mikey
yeah.
has one, but I think, the thing is with Artisan, it's not really something that can be replicated, can it? That one was made for Mike.
You're not going to see us test one that you can buy anyway, because they're going to make it for you.
Let's see what else we got
see
here.
ping putters on the list.
Evenroe or Lab, Test Matty's alignment with the Odyssey Triple Track. That'd be interesting. See if
I wanted to do that at the show. We just didn't have time.
Yeah. No, we didn't have time for a lot of things.
Didn't have time to eat lunch for Christmas' sake. What else is here?
That's funny. April has been fit with range balls, but the range balls are Pro V1 and TP5.
Oh.
Premium.
Have I died?
That's nice.
Those are not range balls.
April's at Reynolds and a Coney, which
lovely.
is where that TaylorMade, it's the kind of kingdom, the tailoring kingdom on the East Coast. That might be one of the best facilities I've ever seen. The short game area, the wedge game area. You should see it. It's unbelievable. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. It'd be definitely in the top 5 best facilities I've ever seen. It's unbelievable.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Costco.
I mean, Costco butter.
Yeah. Do you guys really want us to dive into the Costco thing, or
Rick Shields already did it? It's too late.
Well,
there's no point now.
Rick Shields has done everything, so that wouldn't.
I don't know how he got one so fast to the UK.
Somebody offered us one 2 weeks ago,
and
I just kind of went.
Are they in the store?
I think so.
Well,
so let us know if the Costco putter is something you really need us to dive into.
If you people really want to see the Costco putter. How much money is it? It's like $150?
I've no idea.
Can't be more than.
Came in a fancy box and all the rest of it.
Did it?
Yeah. I think, to be honest, I think the thing looks like it's worth $19.99.
I feel like they could have done a better job on the graphics. That goes without saying.
I know. Like, I don't mind if I'm buying, Kirkland cookies. I just don't want a Kirkland putter.
I love a Kirkland cookie more than just about any other
cookie. A branded cookie is about the right thing I'd buy from Costco. But I don't.
I could go off for an hour about those cookies. They're so good. Oh, sorry. Quickly, new member, Thomas.
Thomas Morrison.
Welcome, Thomas.
Welcome, my man.
Okay. Well, why don't we call it a day?
Get on with the day.
We have lots of exciting things going on. I'm actually really curious how these. One thing really quickly. Why would the 440 players driver
have weights in the heel.
and no toe weight.
I know.
I mean, sorry, Honma, but that seems like a bit of a mistake.
Not unless it has something to do with, well, it's
very carbony.
It's all carbon.
We'll see. Maybe it'll be fine out of the toe side. Who knows?
What's the weight configuration? I don't know if that's
I'm hearing Costco putter is $150 US.
150. So. It's about 130 too much.
That's $200 and some in Canada. That's expensive.
Scotty Cameron versus Toulon. There you go.
Oh, Toulon. Okay.
Okay, what's on the agenda today? Let's throw out some teasers of what we can expect for a little schedule for the week.
TR20 drivers, obviously.
I'm going to do that.
What else?
Range ball. We're going to look at
Range
premium
ball.
versus range ball.
Okay.
We're going to look at the variances in that and what you guys should be keeping an eye out for.
What else came in your whip today?
There was Fujikura F1 and F3.
Yep, that's right. We're overdue for that.
Yep, Motori X.
Motori.
What else do we have? There was some putting stuff on there. I think we're going to maybe look at in the afternoon session, maybe do the Scotty Cameron review, do their line of putters.
You can combine that with a mini putter fitting for me.
Yep.
Hopefully one of those works.
Yeah. You fancy that little Del Mar shape, don't you?
I do like it. I was putting with my Spider though. I like the Spider.
I can't see you putt with that Spider.
Why not?
I've seen you have some of the worst putting rounds of your life with that Spider.
Listen, you relax.
You admitted it yourself.
I shot 2 under in Florida with that putter.
And if Stevie Wonder was putting for you, you would have shot 6. True story or not?
Probably, dude. Probably. Fair.
True
fine.
story.
Okay, so I'm not allowed to use I'm not going to use a Spider. Stevie Wonder was putting for me. I would have been 6 under.
And if it was Ray Charles, maybe 7.
Okay. So Scotty Cameron, maybe I might end up with one of those, according to Ian. And we'll figure something else out. Whenever we try to think of the videos we're going to film, we forget half of them. So. But we have a good day.
There's literally a list of 45 coming, so
love it. Okay. Ready?
Folks, have a great week. Enjoy Memorial Day for everyone.
Happy Memorial Day, yes.
Yeah, happy Memorial Day.
Stay safe.
Yep, we'll see you next Monday.
All right.